Hi, my name is Kim, and I'm the president of the Dream Theater World Fan Club. I'm just starting this stream to try to talk a bit about the making of this DVD that we made back in 2005. This was actually the first project I did with Dream Theater. Back in 2004, we got message from Mike Portnoy that he didn't want to do the fan club CDs anymore that we had gotten from, I think they started in 1996. And by 2004, he had been burnt out by doing them because it was a lot of work. So I made a suggestion to Mike Portnoy that we should make our own fan club release. So we made this DVD. This DVD that's you can see. Let's see if I bring in the big camera like this. So it came in this small plastic envelope with a cover and the CD itself and an inlay that you could put in a jewel case like this. So basically what we did was we proposed to Mike Portnoy that if he didn't want to provide us the material, maybe we could go out and film it ourselves. So that's basically what we did. We took 5 cities around Europe, Oslo and Paris, Düsseldorf, London, and Rome. The last show in Rome was actually filmed the entire set because they did Octavarium. So that was released next year as Romavarium on a fan club DVD. But it was actually filmed the same day. So basically my idea with this DVD was to create a sense of what all of these different cities and different fans, how they react to Dream Theater. So I wanted to film a bit as outside the venue, film a couple of interviews, film some behind the scenes stuff. So we got interviews with all the main members except John Mayang, I think. And also we did some gear footage, and we took footage of how they set up the stage and all that stuff. So this was actually filmed the day before, not the day before, the couple of hours before the show itself. All the young people waiting in line to get into the venue first. So we just went around interviewing all of those young people. It was quite interesting. I was 25 years old at the time and had never done a project like this before. It's quite intense, a lot of work. I was actually writing my master thesis while I was working on this DVD. Uh, and I got 5,000 of these things in to my place and had to ship them all around the world to all the members. I didn't ship them to all the members personally. I shipped them to all the other fan clubs who then shipped them to their members. I'm I was the director for this DVD, and I also made the artwork itself for the DVD. Also did the artwork for Romavarium. All this footage you see here is actually filmed by me and my partner in crime at that show. So we got some nice behind the scenes footage of them setting up the scene, the stage. Of course, this was the tour that Jordan brought his big Moog synthesizer, which was big as a house. It was very interesting to see all the logistics that will happen just to get a show like this running. If you notice the synth keyboard tech, that's actually Jake Bowen, the guitarist of Periphery.
Amplifier setup. He comes in here before the show and rehearses his parts. He has his wardrobe that he's able to sort through what he wants to wear for the show. Because every place we travel, we want it to be as if it was home. As if it was
so this was actually the first time I'd been backstage at any show. So it was quite an experience just to see how they live on tour and see how all of this works.
20 years together and 8 studios.
Then I got to interview John. First time I've ever met him.
In some ways, very surreal. Like, I can't believe we're still together.
So,
I can't believe that we're playing songs that we wrote.
Back then, I didn't have the guts to actually be in front of the camera or have my voice heard on anything. So that's why John repeats all the questions he's getting.
Over the past 20 years. So it's incredible. And I think we're all very blessed and we're very fortunate.
What's funny about all the music that you heard in the beginning and all the music you'll hear in the in-between segments, that's all music that Jordan composed specifically for our DVD. He made like 8 different tracks, and you can find them all on SoundCloud now on our account. It's all different sounds.
Images and words. Probably because after the first record, we were really
so all of this video was basically for the Oslo segment filmed by me and a friend, and then we sent all of the footage back to Germany to Sebastian, who edited it all together.
That album came out, and
when I filmed this, I was very new at filming and editing and all of that, so I actually forgot to turn up the volume on the microphone on this camera. That's why John sounds so thin in the voice.
I don't know. Really had
you live and learn. I still make some of those mistakes today.
When I was growing up, I had all my interests were always in the arts. Whether it be music.
So basically, the first plan we had was we would get one camera to film. I was a rebel, so I brought 2 cameras, and then I saw what would work and wouldn't work. So I basically told the other guys who were doing the project as well, when they were going to film in Paris and in Düsseldorf, to basically bring more cameras, because when I was going to film, like you see this footage here, I only had one camera to film with, and we had one
So
camera to actually
we wanted
record
to
the
make it as very
sound from the
progressive as
soundboard.
which is what we love and
So
are known for, as well as some of the
that's
influences
why
of the last
the
couple of
footage
albums
for the
because they
first
were
section, the panic
they
attack, isn't
um,
that great.
we wanted to mix it
But
up,
we learned
and I
what
think
to do and what
in
not to do.
general
So then
the
we
feeling
got,
was that we
when we
wanted the
came to
songs to be
Paris,
very
we
very
got
strong.
a
So
couple of more
we
cameras
were
and put the
writing
camera closer to the
music
stage.
to the sound that we
And
came
by
to,
the time we reached London
and just made sure that
and Rome, we actually
the
had
melodies,
multiple
the structure
cameras
was very
all over the venue, especially
feeling that it was
for
interesting
the
for us
London show, because the guy that filmed the
because it
London
sounded
show,
original. What's
Kasper
great about
Christensen, he's
um,
he was actually the
the
guy that
videos are
made
really
all those small
focused
video segments for the original Scenes from
is
My
that
Memory tour.
everything is
So
centered
he
around
came
being
out
this
to
post-rock
help us
studio
film this, and he also,
because
at the
every
same day,
studio album there were 8
filmed the
songs.
entire Dark
There were
Side
8
of the Moon
keys to
show.
create
So
an
that
octave. So
became
those
the
are all
Dark Side
things
of the
that
Moon
we didn't really
DVD.
go out there and advertise, but people picked that up.
Yeah,
Was a conscious decision
this
for me to
DVD is
record
absolutely fan made. It's made
there were certain
by
songs that were
myself.
really consciously constructed, to to be uh, how can I say it? They're modeled off of bands that have influenced us in more of a pop and commercial way. If you want to take more modern influences, it would be like Coldplay, for
uh,
example.
so how I
U2
organized it?
has been
Well,
around for a long
basically,
time.
back
Obviously,
then there was
in the studio, we have been for a long time.
several active fan
So
clubs
that would be
all
another
over the
sort of
world,
influence.
and we had
Um,
direct access to
like I said before, we
Mike
wanted the
Portnoy
sound
at
to
that
be
time.
eclectic and a
So we
collection of
could
different
just
styles.
send him
And
proposals on email and
from the
say,
very beginning, from the first
we
record, Seven
kind of
Degrees
have
Here,
ideas to
you'll hear
do
that. You'll always
this and
hear
this and this. We want to do an
there's
interview, or we want to
a
do a
variety,
film thing, or
and that
whatever.
pop influence,
So basically, when
whether or
Mike
not
Portnoy said he
some of
didn't
our
want
work
to do
or
the
fans
fan
want to
club
admit it or
DVDs
not,
that he had
has been
made
a
since
part of our
1996,
style.
I
It's embedded in what Dream Theater
basically
is. And
said,
I think that the funny
okay,
thing about our
we
band
got to
is that people
come up with
identify
something.
with
So
us in
what
different
can we
ways.
do? And I
Some people
proposed
really, really like
making
the
a
progressive
DVD like
music,
this,
and they're really into,
where we basically would
some
just
bands I've
ask the
never even
band,
heard of.
could we come and film?
Um,
And
Crazy Time Signatures,
we
they're
asked
long
Mike
songs and
Portnoy,
all
and
that
Mike
stuff. And there are
Portnoy
some people that really like
basically set up
heavy stuff.
5 shows
Freedom Park,
that
Best
he
Thing.
invited us to,
They
and
love the
we
rippiness and the
got to
pop
film
and
it
all
all.
that. And then there's some people that like the more ballad and the slow things.
So
So,
he set up some ground rules of
it's
what we
hard
could
when
do
you
and
bring it
where
as
we
that
couldn't
question.
go, because of
It's
course
almost like from
this
the
was
get-go,
during the
like,
time
if you
where
guys
Dream
do
Theater would
something
play
different,
a
don't please
secret
other
show
people.
where they
And
would cover
the
an
answer
entire
really
album.
is, I'm
On
sorry,
this
but
leg,
no.
it was the Dark Side
We
of the
write the
Moon
kind of music we write
album, and they were
because
rehearsing
it's what
that
we
in
want to do.
soundcheck.
It's
So we
what
were
interests
actually
us. It
banned
keeps
from
us
soundcheck
creative
because
and
they didn't
alive.
want to get the
And
secret
we
out.
always try to
And
mix
you
it
can
up.
actually see later in
So
the
that people
DVD
the question is that
where
some people
James
say
is
it's
interviewed.
selfish.
He
There are
shows the
another
stage
group.
area
So,
and how
once again, going back to the
he's set
party
up on the
thing,
stage,
when people
and you can
thought
see he
he was
goes to a
some of these
keyboard
people
that he used to play on the
hypocritically saying
show itself, and he
so
has to
much
cover up
shredding
a couple
going
of
on
post-it
and too
notes,
riffy,
and that was actually
and
his cheat
then
sheet
the
for
next album comes
Dark
out
Side
and
of the
people say
Moon that he
it's
didn't want to show to the
not enough.
camera because it was
And
still a
prior to
secret at
that,
that time. So
people were
kind of funny.
saying, "Where's all the shredding?" So once again, it's not something where we listen to all this
So
feedback, take it in, and say, "Okay, on the next album, I'm just going to do this because people said it wasn't there." For us, we really do what suits the album, what suits the music, whatever sort
this
of
was actually the first time I had
stage we're
interviewed
in our lives,
anyone.
what we're trying to accomplish. That's what
So it was
matters.
quite a
The
daunting
other parts are
task,
getting more
but
personal.
I
They're
mean,
getting more
these guys are
personal
so
to the
professional.
players
They've been
and to the
interviewed so
players,
many times that
and that is
you
definitely
basically don't
when I
even
first
have to
started
ask them
writing
full
lyrics
questions. You
for
can
the band.
just ask keywords
I
and
was
they'll
very
go
young.
on
I was into writing about
just
fiction,
answering for minutes at a
and
time.
making up
So
stories and
it's
kind of
they're
creating
easygoing.
these different types of worlds and scenarios.
Nowadays, I've done
And
it
I think when you're
quite a few
younger,
times, so it's much
a little
easier.
bit more difficult to sort of tap into the personal side And as I've gained experience, I find that it's more
So yeah.
rewarding, and I'm
Uh,
more in touch with writing about my own feelings, my own reflections, my own philosophies on things that either I've
so if you want
experienced
to watch
or
this entire DVD,
other
you can
people have
find it
experienced
on
with me.
our YouTube channel.
And
It's
to me
it's
now, that's a lot more
dreamtheater.club
interesting
on YouTube.
than writing about
Uh,
mythology and
Basically, I just wanted to test out
just
this
things
platform now because I've got some great stuff lined up for the future. I got some
really
live
fun
chats
to do when
lined
you
up.
were young and kind of
So
mature
soon
and
we'll get to see some
experience
interviews
things
and stuff like that
a little
coming
bit
up.
more deep. And they've taken a positive
So
turn, which
if
is true. And
I hope
ironically, one of the
this
bands
will
when I was younger,
be a good
I
way to
mentioned
do
U2
like
earlier. We've been into them for a long time. One of the things I used to
like
I didn't like that turned me off is I didn't like when they would play
how we can
political music.
interact
That
with
used to drive me
us
crazy.
and
And the ironic
ask
thing is that
questions and
now
whatever.
I kind of get it. I see what they mean,
So
and I see how
I'm not going to
there are
go
times
through the
when
entire
this
DVD now because
avoidance sort
it's
of
2 hours long. But
topics can be a
go
form of
watch it on
therapy.
YouTube.
I mean, some of the
Uh,
things that I've talked about,
and
having to do with
thanks for
religion
watching.
and moral issues and stuff, that they're a bit deep for like a normal rock and roll song. But I guess we're not the normal rock and roll band, so I think it kind of fits. As far as what's new in our presentation, certainly something that we discussed as far as how we wanted to present this tour. Um, One of them is that the video portion has become an integral part of the show. So that's something that we started to do a few years ago, and we're going to continue to do that. So the different images and movies and little camera